Previously on Black Book, Proshka was beaten into submission, and old Igor accompanied Vasilisa to get a boat from the spinner. An old friend.
You feel at ease as you walk down the welcoming street of this village. A calm silence surrounds you. You almost pass through the village, but the silence is broken by loud laughter and the sounds of an accordion.
Vasilisa, is that you? Come on, join us.
I don't have the time.
Come on, your work is such a bore. 5 minutes here won't kill you.
All right, I have a little bit of time.
You sit by a house and dissolve in a deep song. On the field, you hear the steady sound of digging. Coming closer, you see a peasant moving the border of a field. The man looks startled when he sees you approach. He stops and calls out to you.
Is that you, Igor?
It is I, with Vasilisa. God bless.
God bless. What are you looking at? I'm moving the border ditch. What of it?
Why are you moving the border ditch? You moved it quite far.
For good reason. The Petrov's workers caused me nothing but grief. They deceived me, shot me in flour, only they didn't steal in broad daylight.
Have you spoken of it at the village meeting?
I have, Not much good it did me. Petrov's folk silenced me right away. Huh. I'll tell you what. If you curse the demons, I'll pay you.
Curse? The only one getting cursed today is you! That'll teach you.
A couple of words from the black book, and the man crumples, writhing in pain. Near a small forest creek, you find a grassy meadow. Among other vegetation, you see one beautiful flower. It's blood red, and bright even in the moonlight. You come closer, and tie its stem with a silver thread. With a swift pull, you now have a new, valuable herb, Adam's Head. You take the herb and get ready to go on your way. The closer you are to the house of the spinner, the more ominous the woods get. The decaying trunks of pines and spruces tower over the path like silent guardians. Your blood runs cold every other moment. You feel that the border between worlds is very thin in this part of the forest.
So, how do you like this Isba? Ours is quite a bit cozier, isn't it? Go speak to that skull. He's a doorman of sorts here. That's the spinner for you, always thinking up something crazy.
What do you mean, speak to the skull?
I mean that it used to be a Khaldun. The regular folks aren't likely to chat with it. We, knowers, are used to this sort of thing. It's something new the spinner thought up. Skulls such as these used to hang on the trees around here like effigies of sorts. This one is used as a kind of test. It would be best if you passed the test. This woman knows me, you see, but she's not familiar with you.
What's with the yarn on the paths?
You see it, do you? Ordinary folk don't. The yarn binds some poor Christians to the spinner. It's a strong and dark sorcery. You had better go and speak to the doorman.
What else should I know about the spinner?
Hush, child. These skulls report every little detail to that witch. Keep your lips sealed.
You approach the skull hanging by the door. Suddenly, the bony head starts shaking. A burning coal that serves as an eye socket stops you in your tracks.
Oh joy, and Noah, are we? Finally, some fun! My eye isn't what it used to be. Who's that old timer over there? I think I know him.
Will you let me pass to see the spinner?
With pleasure, but I'm ordered to test Noah. If it were up to me, I wouldn't be hanging around here in the first place. Anyway, we'll do it just like in the fairy tales. I'll give you 3 riddles. Solve any one of them, and I'll let you through. Solve none, or refuse to answer, I'll take one of your eyes. I'm short one, you see.
I'd say that's the least of your problems.
Well, are you up to it?
Wait, answer my questions first.
I have no answers for you. I only ask questions. Well, are you up to it?
Have it your way. Ask your riddles.
Listen to the first one, girl. There is a hamlet, folks packed together tight. Come morning the cock sings, yet no man stands upright.
There's a hamlet, folks packed in tight. Come morning the cock crows, yet no man stands upright. A cemetery. Proper dead men do not rise from the graves.
Correct. You solved the riddle. Only that man don't rise in the morning. Believe me, I know. You may pass, or you may try to guess another.
Let's riddle some more.
Listen to the second riddle. Lame chicks sing along, dry wood they haul. Wound up in a ditch, can't move an inch.
Lame chicks sing along, dry wood they haul. Wound up in a ditch, can't move an inch. The priests are singing for the dead. It's a funeral procession.
Correct, you guessed it. I remember those songs. You'll hear them too soon enough. You may pass, or you may try to guess another.
Let's riddle some more.
Steal a quine, tale of twine.
Steal a quine, tale of twine. Well, that's easy. I'm here to see the spinner after all. It's a needle and a thread.
Correct, you guessed it. Look at you. You should know your riddles. That makes you a powerful witch. Well, you may pass. We can riddle some more. No eyes involved, just like that, for curiosity's sake.
Let's riddle some more.
Listen to the fourth riddle. Walks with no legs, sleeves with no arms, mouth with no speech.
Walks with no legs, sleeves with no arms, mouth with no speech. A shadow walks with no legs behind a man.
Huh, right you are. I can riddle you another one.
Let me crack one more.
The ship broke to bits over meadows and deeps, over cities and streets. No popes and no dukes can bring it anew, no money, no books.
The ship fell to beats over meadows and deeps, over cities and streets. No popes and no dukes can bring it anew. No money, no books. The sky broke and scattered all the stars.
Correct. You are a clever one, girl, and a knower at that. You might be powerful enough. Listen, you might be even more knowledgeable than the spinner. Why don't you take me along? I can look after your isba and whatnot. I can make myself useful, you know.
So be it. Your eye shines quite bright. I could use you for a lantern. All right then, I'm off to see the spinner.
Evening, Kapitalina Ivanovna.
Evening to you too, Yegor Yevlampevich.
The voice of the spinner is quiet and smooth, like the rustling of pages in the Black Book.
Brought you my little orphan. Became a knower recently, this one.
You sure did. But what are you thinking, poking around in my business? You took my spindle. It was doing my bidding, you know. I let it slide on account of you not knowing and all.
God bless, Kapitalina Ivanovna.
I see you're a fine girl and a smart one. Yes, I heard your replies to the riddles. To be a knower is not all demonic affairs. So why are you here? Not just to check up on an old woman, I should think.
We saw a dead girl in Villas of Woods.
That was Marfa, I would guess. Didn't have money for a love potion, was quite desperate, I gather. Well, it serves her right.
We met your doorman. What of that skull?
Some lousy Khaldun. And Yeretnik, God rest his soul. Hasn't served his time yet, so he helps me around the house.
I wanted to ask you about this yarn you have here and around the house.
This witchery is not yet for you, Vasilisa. In time you'll learn, perhaps. It's not the same as sending fiends for milk, mind you.
I need a woven belt. A powerful one, Kapitalina Ivanovna.
Yes, I know you came for a belt. Only why would I give one to you?
Old Yegor warned me that I should watch my mouth around the spinner. How should I answer her? You're known all across the Uyezd for weaving the best belts, Kapitalina Ivanovna.
So I am. You aren't here without reason. I can indeed make good belts. You've become a knower, so I'll give you an enchanted belt. So what are you going to do with your chorts?
How am I supposed to answer that? I really don't know what to do with them. Well, make them suffer, of course. Give them some back-breaking work.
That's how you should treat them. Torment those filthy creatures. Only knowers can do some good. Well, turns out you're a good knower, girl. I'll give you a belt as a gift. Here, it's a good one. Later, I'll put you in touch with a pupil of mine. A fine man. Maybe it'll work out for the two of you, hmm?
Thank you for the belt, Kapitalina Ivanovna.
Well, thank you, Kapitalina. See you again sometime.
See you soon. Farewell.
Spinner is no simple witch. It's not the last time we'll hear of her. Well done, Vasya. She's taking a liking to you. The meeting couldn't have gone better. All right, we've got the belt. Now we must plan our next moves. Now we need to name our Banya bride. Well, go to Vilgurt. You'll find the priest there. Kolya, you should go too.
It's decided then.
Well, Vasya, now I can say I've seen things. Cannon fire. A redoute, that's one thing. The devil himself, that's a whole different level. Still, I think that war is scarier. Much scarier than any chort. I still can't forget it.
You've seen too few chorts, Kolya.
Perhaps that's true, but that's beside the point. I'm not going to put up with it. I know how to get over this. I have an idea.
are you thinking about?
I'm thinking of stepping right into the fire, if only something turned up.
You could die, you know.
No, I'm not talking about something like a campfire. And I'm not planning on dying either. It's not the devil I have to overcome. Man's greatest enemy is himself. That's what I think.
What happened down there, in the war?
Bah, Vasya, you wouldn't be interested. This war was thought up by the devil and none other. Not by the Holy Spirit, that's for sure. I don't even want to remember. The thoughts alone make my hair white.
Is that why you started smoking?
Well, look at you. They don't call you knowers without reason. Well, yes. I'll start with something small, I think. To tell you the truth, I'm terrified even when I strike sparks with flint. That's what I'm talking about! Finally, no riddles!
I wonder if this corpse will tell on us to Capitalina. We should carry him to the forest and bury him under a tree somewhere.
You think he might be dangerous?
What are you whispering there, Yegorka? Haven't you recognized me yet?
I would, had you any more face to guess by.
I may have but little skin left, but I'm still more handsome than you, old chart.
Oh, Levonti, is that you?
My! Finally! Looks like your memory isn't any better than that of the rotten head.
Tote, why aren't you dead yet? I guess it's all right, Vasilisa. This undead is safe. He won't tell anything to the spinner.
I never thought this demon would turn out to be an acquaintance of yours.
I know every Khaldun enthusiast, both living and dead.
Me and your grandpa were friends before you were even born. Although I inherited my sorcery. When my grandma was on her deathbed, she was a witch, as you might have guessed. She called for me, asked me to bring her some water. And then she passed me her charts to me.
Ha! A cunning ploy that was.
And I, young and dumb as I was, accepted them. To tell the truth, I never really regretted it. I told you I'll be immortal someday.
Pox on your immortality.
We'll see how you sing when demons come for you.
We will, Levonti.
What do you mean he won't tell her? Perhaps we should actually leave him in the forest.
I won't betray an old friend of mine, you hear?
Just in case, let me bind you with a couple of zagovars.
And you, Yegor, still just as cunning. You waste your strength, though. What little of it you have left. Only 3 teeth worth, as I see it.
Don't worry, I have enough.
Why do you look like that? Only a white head with no body.
You try being undead as long as I did. Time eats away everything, even steel. It's only thanks to sorcery that my head isn't completely gone. I can teach you this trick.
I'll doubt I ever want to leave as a wrecked skull.
Greetings to you, mistress of the house. I was flying back from Igor's job when I noticed something. Some bandits jumped a Khaldun near the crossroads. He drove a cart. Perhaps there is something useful for you there.
Maybe.
Buy an amulet and a trinket. Buy a potion and drink it. You'll be as healthy as a boar, demons fleeing from your roar.
You stumble upon a strange clearing. The trees are fallen, as if hit by a hurricane. Or perhaps the master of the forest walked this path. What's strange is that in the middle of the clearing, A single tree stands undamaged. You come closer and realize that the tree was saved by the prikrish herb that grows among its roots. You bow to the plant and cut it down. You take the herb and get ready to go on your way. Near the covered crosses, you notice a jug of milk and a loaf of bread. It would seem that someone still visits these old graves. With sadness, you wonder if dead men need any treats. You leave some coins and rest a bit before continuing on your journey. A cart has gone off the road, but no one seems to be around, neither its owner nor the horses. The cart itself is empty except for one jewelry box, obviously left behind by the owners. Its lid is slightly ajar. Glass shards of various colors gleam inside, reflecting the moonlight. You carefully pick the item up and get ready to go on your way. From afar, you hear two demons arguing furiously. Their shouts make the treetops sway. It seems that they are arguing over a fish they caught in some peasant's fish trap. When you take a good look, you realize that a human soul is in the trap, shrunken in horror. You quickly draw a circle and read your first Zagavar. The chorts drop the trap, and the soul slips away and flies into the sky. On a bridge over a small river near Vilgert, two cart drivers argue over who should have way first. They are arguing fiercely, not realizing that each has a demon over the left shoulder. It's the demon's job to bring discord and serve as a prompter of sorts, whispering lines into their ears. You casually draw a circle while the demons are making fun of the peasants. These chorts clearly weren't ready for your first Zagavar. The peasants pay no mind to the sounds of fighting. Nevertheless, by the time the Chorts have gone back to hell, the argument is also over, and both peasants go about their own business. By the icy smooth surface of the lake, you notice a horse, anxiously shaking its mane. A couple of demons are tugging on its bridle, trying to steal it from its master, who is asleep beneath a slope nearby. You shake the peasant awake and point to his animal walking away to the forest. The vexed demons let go of the horse as soon as the peasant crosses himself and takes the reins. As a token of appreciation, he gives you a handful of rusts. You walk along an old path through the eastern woods. At this hour, the moon shines especially bright. Everything around you glows with a mysterious light. All of a sudden, you hear loud voices and metallic ringing coming from the woods. You can only guess what this late-night commotion is all about. Trying not to make a sound, you go deep into the woods. Finally, the branches part, and you see a curious sight. Some Khaldoons, unknown to you, are trying to agree on the price of a pile of copper samovars. One of them looks deeply upset and constantly knocks on one of the items. It seems he wants to demonstrate its quality. You notice a pair of red eyes peeking out from the samovar. It seems the Khaldoons didn't expect company. Both of them jump in surprise when they hear your voice and run away faster than you can stop them. To your horror, the samovars start to move, and an angry Chort emerges from each of them. Black silhouettes of the old Avins look like lurking demons. You search one barn after another, but there's nothing of value inside. You sigh and get ready to leave when a chill runs through you. You notice dark, demonic figures in one of the old barns.
Greetings, Master of the Avine. Let me pass into your domain.
Ah, a live one. The peasants left me here. I'm to live here for another 40 years. You can hear me, I gather. That means you're a witch. Come into my barn then and listen to my story. I have centuries of wisdom to share. Might be of use to demon knowers like you.
Thank you, kind host. I'm always looking to learn.
Well, listen.
It seems as if many hours have passed, but the stars haven't moved an inch. You leave the barn having learned quite a lot. You see a flickering light among the graves. You come closer, trying not to make a single sound. Soon, you see that one of the fresh graves is being dug up by an acquaintance of yours.
Why, you startled me, Vasilisa. I thought that the devil had come for me.
Serves you right, loafing about cemeteries at night. Don't you know it's a sin?
What are you doing at such a late hour? In a cemetery of all places.
This is none of your business, Visa. And look who's talking. Good girls stay home during the late hours.
I can already tell that you're digging up a grave. What a sin!
Don't talk to me about sins. People say that you're a witch now. Phew. My grief makes me dig. I need to take one last look at him. One last time.
Listen to me. It is not proper digging up graves. You said that I'm a witch. So I am. I know a thing or two. Listen, one time... Do you know Dashka from Pilva? She had it worse than you. Her son died. She missed him terribly, and so she went to dig him up. She dug all night, and didn't manage to finish the job, so she came back the second night. She dug and dug. Suddenly, a white dog jumped out of the grave. It followed her to her house. Must have been the soul of her son. It was certainly a sin.
By the end of the tale, the peasant can't hold back his tears. You help him get out of the half-dug grave and fill it back up. As you do this, you notice an Adam's head growing nearby and take it. You say goodbye and continue on your journey.
How easy will it be to get a name from the Streltsy? What else will be encountered on the way back to that changeling? Find out next time on Black